So?
There I have this fear.
Well, stop it. Because the fear, what is the fear? When you say I have this fear, what you're actually saying is sometimes I'm really not in the receiving mode. Sometimes my own conscious thoughts are so in the way that I am not letting it in.
That I will take it away myself, you know, that I'm on this path.
Well, you might, but so what? So what? Aren't you going to allow yourself plenty of step ones? If you don't know what you don't want, how are you going to know what you do want?
I like step 5. I don't like step 1.
Well, then we have nothing for you.
No.
Because the entire universe is established. In other words, if you're asking no questions, you're having no expansion. If you're never in step 1, and we know step 5 is better because then you're not upset when you're in step 1. But when there is doubt, that means, and it happens to everyone, it will happen through most of your life. You see, you've thought so many thoughts, and it's a good thing, not a bad thing, because consider this. You get it that when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want, and that those rockets of desires, those transmissions of vibration, are what have created this vibrational reality that is the source of all that you are now receiving. Did you follow that? And do you know that? So as the contrast occurs, that's where the beginning of all of your creation comes from, which means if you don't allow yourself contrast and those moments of knowing what you don't want, you don't allow your evolution. The evolution of all that is, the expansion and evolution of every species is about that. You've got to be all right with that. All that fear means, and especially the kind of fear that you're talking about, all that fear means is that you in this moment aren't in sync with the thought that your inner being is having about this same thing that you're thinking about. It's just guidance. That's all it is. It's just guidance. In other words, do you feel afraid right now as you're visiting with us?
No, not at all. So beautiful.
Can you feel our appreciation for you and our love for you?
Yes.
And yet we're guiding you. This guidance is coming through your ear rather than through your solar plexus. But if you weren't hearing these words, you might be feeling the emotion that what we know and what you are thinking are creating. But is it possible that you might accept that the very fear that doesn't feel so good is because of the love that is being offered that you are presently denying? That's what fear always means. You are currently, presently denying
because
love.
I'm doubting. How can I, why is so much love for me? Why? Am I deserving? Why am I thinking that? This is what I want to get a clarification.
Well, we can't convince you with words. You've got to show yourself through alignment.
Which I do it often.
Yeah. We can offer the words all day long.
It's so beautiful.
This is something that you have to let in. Love is something that you receive. It's not something you contemplate. It's not something you orchestrate. It's not something that you dictate. It's not something that you demand. It's something that you let in. It's something that is always present and always being offered to you, that you can let in or not. And when you don't, it doesn't feel good. That's all. It doesn't mean it's not present. It means you're not letting it in. And so when you beat up on yourself by saying, oh, I'm denying myself this love, that just holds you apart from it further. Instead say, oh, this is an indication that I'm denying this love. I think I'll take a nap. I think I'll stop rampaging on this subject that has enough momentum that it's carrying me into a vibration that isn't allowing me to receive the love that is always being offered to me.
But see, this is what I noticed, my pattern was, because when I feel so much love, I start pushing even people away from me when they're like showing me their love, their appreciation.
We're not talking about what others are offering.
This fear gets me.
We're not talking about other humans bringing it to you. So maybe we're talking about two different things. We're talking about you coming into alignment and feeling the wholeness of who you are. But humans often, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. And so there might be someone, here it is. If a person coming towards you is in alignment with who they are, and they are inspired through their alignment, their impulse is to move in the direction of you. If you're in alignment, you will not feel like pushing them away. But there are a lot of people moving towards you who are not in alignment with who they are. Much of the world is acting not from alignment but from action, acting out of lack. And so don't call it fear, call it guidance. Call it, this is not in alignment with me. You're not rejecting them, you're just not meshing with them. And the reason you're not meshing with them is because they're not meshable. You could say to them, I want to love you, you're just weird vibrationally right now, go away.
Well, I walk away. Actually, that's what I do.
Well, we're being playful with you, but you see what we're getting at.
Yes, I get it.
So
My appreciation, I would like to have a rampage.
soon enough. You're very demanding.
Should I give this for extra love from India?
Yes, 7.